Today at Gadget Class, I'm doing a video review of a Centra snap case for the LG V10 phone. I'm not normally a fan of ultra thin plastic snap cases, but in the case of the LG V10, any case you use that is thick at all or in any way comes close to your fingerprint reader, it's going to make it really hard to use that fingerprint reader. They are pushing out updates that are taking away the requirement to be touching this little metal ring the whole time. But for a lot of us that are on carriers other than Verizon, I believe, we're still having case issues with our LG V10. That's where a case like this comes into play. It's a basic snap case. It's probably just over 1 millimeter thick. It is a textured plastic. It's just a plastic snap case with a nice like rubberized texture surface to it. It's got a nice grippy surface to it. It's not going to fall out of your hand. And let's go ahead and put it in the case for you. And it does fit pretty well. It does snap right on there. And what I noticed is that on one side, it's always a little bit off, depending on which side you put in first. So you can see there that the top is just slightly too high. And that's because I put in the bottom first on this go around here. So that's my only complaint. If I had put the top in first, those would be right in the middle. So that's kind of a byproduct of the fact that it is a very form-fit case. Like, it needs to be as form-fit as possible to come up around and snap onto that phone. Other than that, it is very minimal. Very minimal. It doesn't offer you really any screen protection. It pretty much comes right flush with the surface. We can see there I put the bottom in first, so it's a little bit higher there, and the top, it is exactly flush there. And you can actually see my tempered glass screen protector there. So you're not getting much, if any, screen protection. You are getting camera protection, just barely. It is going to protect your camera lens from scratches. But the selling point of this case is I can still use my fingerprint reader. It still works. Okay, fingerprint reader works just fine. You know, compared to the SpyGen, which is, you know, my favorite case all around, the fingerprint reader is pretty much unusable in the SpyGen. So that's where a case like this is going to come into play. And I'm going to go ahead and recommend it, despite the fact that it doesn't offer much protection, and the fact that every time you take the case off of the phone, the battery compartment comes with it. Every single time. I mean, there's probably a way to do it, but I've tried it a few different ways here, and the battery compartment door comes off every single time. So as long as you're going to keep the case on the phone, it's not a real big issue. I wouldn't worry about it too much. And it is a good stopgap measure in between now and the firmware update, wherein they actually fix it to work with better cases. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a 4 out of 5, despite it being kind of flawed in some ways. But I think it's a good case, and it does allow you to use your fingerprint reader with the LG V10. So make sure you hit yes for found this review helpful, hit the thumbs up button, and subscribe to the YouTube channel.